So Trump made some appearances over the weekend, bumbling and mumbling. And again, I want you to have a listen to this man and tell me if you think this guy is fit to be the president of the United States. Just listen.
A coal plant a week. I don't like flies. Get out of here, fly. Never been a big fan of flies. You don't mind my bringing that up, do you? Anyway, this is a very aggressive sucker. That is this one. This one in particular is very aggressive. Like I'm going to be aggressive for our country. You can probably say.
He could say anything and they would clap. He can call Kamala Harris the N-word and they would probably hoot and holler and clap, these frickin' idiots that go to his rallies. They're some of the dumbest people that America has to offer. Let me repeat that. The people that go to Donald Trump rallies, for the most part, not all of them, but for the most part, they are some of the dumbest people that America has to offer. This is the point in the rally where Trump took credit for veterans' choice legislation. By the way, that was passed into law by President Obama. Have a listen to this.
By the way, what we did for the military with that, we gave choice, and we also did something that was very important. We got rid of 9,000 sadists and bad people from our Veterans Administration, and we got rid of them. They hated our soldiers. They hated our heroes. We got rid of them and replaced them with people that love our people. That's what we want, love our country and love our people. The other thing we did, which is very important, is choice, because our veterans were waiting in line. We had a 92% approval rating with our vet. Now it's down into the 40s, and they're getting rid of it. By the way, what we did for the...
Yeah, let me also repeat. Veterans' choice legislation was signed into law by President Obama. There you have Cheeto Jesus that is trying to take credit for it. It is absurd. And then Tom Cotton does his little appearance on television over the weekend. He's asked a very direct question. It's a direct question that I ask MAGA Republicans virtually on a daily basis, which is, did Trump lose the 2020 election? Why is this important? Well, it's important because if you're not able to answer that question, then in my opinion, you're unfit for office. Again, not to go back and have a debate about this, because there is no debate. Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. No evidence of widespread voter fraud that could have changed the outcome of the election. The FBI has said it was the most secure election we've ever had. Bill Barr has said things that are very, very similar. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud, and Donald Trump is the reason why we had January 6th, and he's the reason why so many idiot Americans out there have no faith in our elections, because Donald Trump continues to spread lies about our elections. Tom Cotton does an interview over the weekend, and he's asked what is a very basic question. Who won the 2020 election? Did Trump lose? Listen to Tom Cotton and his lack of a response. Now, they'll say, well, Joe Biden won, or Joe Biden was the elected president, but won't be willing to say that Trump lost. Have a listen to this.
Different. I want to talk about one of the big moments this week from the vice presidential debate. We just played it in the open when Senator J.D. Vance refused to say that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. I want to put this question to you, Senator, just to put this to rest. Can you say definitively here and now that Donald Trump did lose the 2020 election?
Kristen, Joe Biden was elected president in 2020. It was an unfair election in many ways. I mean, you had states that were changing their election practices or election laws, sometimes in violation of their constitution. You had networks combining with big tech to suppress what we now know to be a truthful story about Hunter Biden's laptop and the evidence that it exposed about Biden family corruption. So obviously Joe Biden was elected president. We know that in part because...
But did Trump lose?
Joe Biden was elected, Kristen. There's a process by which we elect presidents. There's votes in November. You have an electoral college vote. You certify the election, and then you have the inauguration. Joe Biden was elected president. Everything has gone to hell in a handbasket as a result of it.
As you know, though, I mean, it has been stated that this was one of the most secure elections in U.S. history. But do you just not want to say that Trump lost? Why not just say the simple,
Kristen,
if Biden is president, can you just simply say Trump lost?
Joe Biden was elected president in 2020. That's why we have runaway inflation. That's why we have more than 10 million illegals in this country. And to go back to the point about the 2020 election, it was very irregular. You had networks, to include this networks, conspiring with big tech to suppress evidence of Biden family corruption. You had Democratic states and cities like Pennsylvania, like Philadelphia, changing their election practices on the fly. That's one reason why President Trump and the Republican National Committee is so focused on election integrity in this election, to make sure that Democrats aren't doing things like they're trying to do in Pennsylvania, counting absentee and mail-in ballots that don't have dates or have the wrong date.
And there's no proof that that happened. And again, just to be clear, as I said initially, Trump did take his case to court more than 60 times, didn't win those cases.
Yeah, there's nothing irregular, you stupid idiot. Cotton, you stupid moron. And Cotton knows that Donald Trump lost, but he's not willing to say it. Won't say it in front of the American people. I guarantee you he'll say it in private. You coward, Tom Cotton. You piece of human garbage. You coward. There was nothing irregular. What he's saying about absentee ballots in Pennsylvania is a lie, completely debunked, unproven. He'll say Joe Biden was elected. Won't say it was a free and fair election. Won't say he won free and fair. Won't say that Donald Trump lost. Ladies and gentlemen, it's people like Tom Cotton of why we had January 6th. It's people like Donald Trump and Tom Cotton why we have political violence in this country. These people are dangerous and they're idiots, and Tom Cotton has no backbone. None. Zero. Won't answer the question. Just like that SOB J.D. Vance on a vice presidential debate stage asked, who won the 2020 election? Did Donald Trump lose? Won't answer the question because they're cowards and they all know that they have an audience of one. They're not thinking about the American people. Make no mistake about it. J.D. Vance is not thinking about the American people. He's thinking about one person and one person only, Donald Trump. I don't want to upset Donald Trump. It's why the Republican Party is run by Donald Trump, because they're all afraid of him. It's a joke. Tom Cotton is no better than J.D. Vance. They're both cowards. They know that Donald Trump lost the election, but they're not willing to say it. They'll scoot their way around it. Oh, Joe Biden was the elected president, but that doesn't mean it was very unfair. But apparently 2016 was very fair, right? Everything went great in 2016 because Hillary lost and Donald Trump won. And yes, Hillary conceded that day.